Everybody, how are you doing today? It is Saturday and we're live worldwide on the one and only Jim Masters Show Live. Good to have you with us. It is the holiday season. Hey, happy holidays to all of you. Those celebrating Hanukkah, of course, Christmas coming up as well, Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you celebrate, you're at the right place for some holiday merriment, mayhem, inspiration, levity, entertainment, and so much more. I'm your host, Jim Masters. I've been doing this work for a long time, professional television and radio presenter, personality, host, writer, producer, MC, journalist, actor, voiceover artist. And about 35 plus weeks ago, we built this home studio, brought in the television lights, and here we are. 35 plus weeks later, 200 plus episodes later, with our entertainment lifestyle talk show series, where we bring back the lost art of conversation, but we couple that with great entertainment, special features, all kinds of surprises on location segments, amazing guests, viewer interaction, and lots of light, love, and levity, plus levity, as we call it, which was a word that just popped up, sort of slipped out of my mouth when I was saying love and levity together, and we created levity. So all the viewers call themselves levities. They are the levities, the viewers. If you're a new viewer, we welcome you because you're now a levity here on the Jim Master Show Live. They call me Mr. Levity, and they welcome all of our guests from around the world. We have an international audience that has been watching us live and spreading the word and tagging and sharing and subscribing to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and liking our Facebook page, Jim Masters TV, Instagram, Twitter, all these cool things. We have so many amazing things in store for you. And today we're actually doing two shows. I know I do this work professionally in the real world on television and radio. And now here it is the weekends that are kicking back. We're providing you all kinds of entertainment. We are live right now. It is 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, 8 p.m. over in Ireland and Scotland and England and parts of Europe, GMT time. We welcome everybody there. We have an incredible guest, Darcy, who is from the fantastic Irish folk rock band Corner Boy. And there's a really cool story about Corner Boy and how it was formed. He is the founder and he is the lead performer of this really cool, popular group. Matter of fact, several people told me about the group, and then I started listening to their music and really picking up the vibe, and I fell in love with it. So we reached out and we said, hey, would you like to pop on the show? And would you like to be a guest on the show? And they immediately said, you got it. Just tell us where and when. Originally, they were going to be here a little bit earlier, about a month or so ago, but Ireland has been in that real, lockdown situation. So they are with us today. Mick is, and at some point we'll have the other band members join maybe later down the line too, because they're just coming out of the lockdown now in Ireland. So they're sort of, getting their feet back planted on the road. They can't necessarily travel too far from their homes right now, but good to have you with us. We've got some amazing music coming up. That's right. And Mick is going to perform live. He's at the studio. He's going to perform live for us. Got all kinds of cool music and videos and inspirational conversation and viewer interactions. So we are live. How do you like our set? Each day it gets more and more Christmassy. And I tell you, I'm putting all my television background to work. We've got a nice cup of coffee here. It's a mug we picked up when we were in Lake George, New York, upstate. I don't know if you've ever been to Lake George. We have cousins that live in that area. It's a beautiful, beautiful area. And Lake George is nice all times of the year, except winter. You got to be a real skier if you're going to go in the winter, because it's up there in the mountains, but really beautiful. And the lake is gorgeous in the summertime and the fall. Got a little cup of coffee. It's the afternoon. A little sprinkle of Bailey's in it, right? We were working hard. So a little coffee in our green Lake George mug here with some a little bit of Bailey's. So we have two shows today, which is amazing. We've jam-packed today with amazing shows. We have Mick with us today at 3 p.m. Eastern now. And then we have two-time Grammy-winning songwriter, musician, and performer, entertainer, Dennis Scott. He's going to be here live at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific as my special guest. He's going to be performing live. We've got some amazing content to show you as well. And it's going to be really cool. Holy cow, my hair is growing long. My hair is usually a lot shorter than this, and we haven't had it cut since March. And the hair salon has called several times, said, Jim, you coming in? And you know what it is? I've wanted to grow it long for a long time. So since we're doing this home studio thing, and there's been a couple of TV shoots that I've been on, one at PBS and one at TV news show I do in New York. So as I told you, what I did to trick it was to pull the hair back, and I had a turtleneck with a sport coat on. And by pulling it back, it made the hair shorter because the back of the hair was tucked in the turtleneck. So suddenly I was news anchor man on television, and then whoosh, we let it back. I don't know how long we're going to let it grow. Probably not going to let it go down here, but it's just kind of cool. We're having fun, during all of this COVID time here. Hope everybody's doing well. And it's a pleasure having you here. If you're just joining us for the first time, I see a lot of our lovities are here. We've got a nice hi from Brett's Worship Channel. Good to see you, Brett. Thanks for joining us. Mary Bishop in Florida. Hello, Jim and lovities. Welcome, Corner Boy. Absolutely. And Bernadette says, hello, Jim. I'm multitasking, so I'm watching on Jim's YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. We love that, Bernadette. I know you love when we have the Irish artists on. He's live and direct from the studio in Dublin today. Happy Saturday, Jim and lovities, from Cleveland, Ohio, USA. Happily made it home in time to tune in. That's fantastic. Nan Milligan is here. Good Saturday, all. Good to see you, Nan, watching, of course. This is exclusively on our YouTube channel. And Celtic Keeper Girl 1, good to see you. So exciting. Absolutely. Love my Irish musicians. You better believe it. And we say hello to everybody and welcome everybody. And Juanita is here from South Africa. Hello, Jim, and all the lovely lovities. I know you in South Africa, you probably love our earlier time, right? Because usually our shows are 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That would mean it would be like midnight for Mick. And that'll be a little late to start a show for him. So, and make noise, Kathleen Walker's here. Hi, Jim, and hi, everyone. She's in New York City. And you like the fireplace and the holiday set here, huh? We're going to be adding a couple more things over the weekend to the set, but we've been tweaking it as we've been going along. Glad you enjoy it. Good to have you with us. Marilyn Hammond. Hi, Jim, and all our lovities. Welcome. Good to see you in Wichita, Kansas. You like the sweater? Very winter holiday. We're not at winter yet, but almost. Good afternoon, Jim and lovities from Llewellyn in the Palm Springs area in California. The studio looks so cozy. Hop on a plane and come. Oh, no, you can't, because if you do, you have to quarantine for 14 days when you come here. Although you might like that. Although come in the summer, it's a little bit warmer. Actually, we've had a good time. We've so far haven't had snow or anything. We're good here. We're in the northeastern United States in the greater New York area along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. That's where we are positioned here in the United States. I love being a lovity. We love having you as a lovity. And Wozniak is here. Hi, Jim and everyone. Good to see you, Anne. And everybody says hello to everybody as well. So cheery and warm, hanging by the fire, cozy. You better believe it. You vacationed a lot at Lake George. That's a fantastic place to go. And you almost forgot we're on YouTube, Merlin. Hey, I want to let you know, Merlin, you'll love this because you're there in Ontario, Canada. The group Corner Boy actually has foundations that started in Montreal. Mick's going to tell us about that in just a second. You have the same thing in your coffee cup. Very good. You're cheering with some Southern comfort. Boy, everybody's becoming Irish now, huh? Uptown Artist Group. Thanks for the support, Jim. My pleasure. My pleasure. We love it. We love you guys. You're the best. Good to have you guys with us as well. Hi from Dublin. Muffin Leg. What a cool name that is. Hi from Dublin. Good to have you. We love Dublin. Just saw your typo. We got it. We got it down there. You're loving the time. Good to have you here. All right, gang. We're going to kick things off here. You love the fireplace and Albany, New York. Sons have to come to visit. All right, gang. So we have an amazing guest, and I want to tell you, we want to kick things off right away. As I mentioned, the group Corner Boy is phenomenal. If you've heard their music, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you should check it out. Irish folk, rock, and they really blend a lot of other genres, but they really focus on folk and rock. And they've had some really, really good times and some amazing songs that and official music videos and so much more as they climb up the charts. They are Cool people. And that's what I love it. Friends who've come together to put this really fantastic group together. And if you've had an opportunity to hear them, you know what I'm talking about. Bursting out of the darkened backroom parlors of Wexford's town pubs, social clubs in 2012, Corner Boy emerged as an enraptured clatter. This is a contemporary folk fused with traditional Irish instruments, sound bedding in their words, a haunting, beautiful time. Corner Boy has toured extensively in Ireland, the UK, Europe, North America, Asia, and the Middle East, with their music really receiving widespread national and international radio and television acclaim. All four of their early singles, Ghost Town City, True North, Morning, and Untie the Noose, reached #1 in the Irish iTunes folk charts with their single Morning, and also charting at #1 in the Dutch world music iTunes charts as well. And again, their music is really, really cool. You're going to love it. We're going to hear some samples of it on the show today as well. But first, let me welcome live and direct from Dublin, Ireland, Mick Darcy. He, again, is the founder of Corner Boy, and he is the lead performer. Hey, Mick, welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us, my friend. You got your cup of coffee. You're all set. You got your Christmas tree there. You got the memo. You got that whole holiday scene going on behind you, too. Welcome, my friend.
Thanks, Jim. What an introduction. So I hope I live up to it.
Only the best, only the best.
I'm missing the Baileys, I'm afraid, but we'll see what we can try find her later.
There's probably something to the left of you there, right?
Yeah.
Well, cheers, my friend.
Here from afar.
Yeah,
cheers
to you. Cheers, a sludshot. That's right. Whatever's on the left there off screen may slowly make its way into the screen, huh?
Yeah, I think so. Why not? Yeah. It's a festive time of year, so
it sure is, my friend. And again, we welcome you. Really cool to have you here. And I know at some point, you wanted to have all the guys here, everybody, but the COVID restrictions just sort of got lifted in Ireland, right? Because you were going to come on about a month or so ago, but then it was true lockdown. You couldn't even get to your studio. Tell us about that. And it's a good thing that things are slowly maybe getting a little bit better for you guys in Ireland.
Yeah, I guess Ireland is quite unique, I guess, in the world stage, because it's really one of only a few countries that have really, really shut down everything, most things. So, pubs, live music, all sense of kind of community halls and stuff like that are all have their doors all locked up. So it's only really starting to reopen as of yesterday. So for the last couple of weeks, we've been at level 5, which is really the top level of lockdown. So, but I guess it's something that's very true to the Irish spirit, that when something like this really broke out in March, the Irish people really came together as a proper community and rallied around the cause. So and that's been really great to see. So when it tells a lot about people in a crisis, how they react to it. So it's been really, really positive, and it feels safe. So hopefully we can have some sort of a proper Christmas celebration.
Exactly. So how have you guys been doing with it all? Obviously, you like to perform, you like to be out there. And, I've talked to a lot of artists here in the United States and around the world. And, we're talking to them about some of the things that they're doing to still stay creative and be connected with fans and everything as we eventually, fingers crossed, 2021 brings us, some sunshine with all of this. What have you guys been doing to stay connected and creative?
Yeah, a very strange year for musicians and artists and creative types, but really, I think the community of musicians and artists and creative types have learned a lot. I mean, taking us as an example, we have played one show in Ireland this year. We this year have played at Philadelphia Folk Festival online. We played at Kansas City Irish Festival online, and back in January we managed to get one show in the States when we went to the Folk Alliance. We attended the Folk Alliance conference in New Orleans. So really strange that we were expecting to tour maybe Ireland and Europe, and the majority of our shows have been in the States. So it's been really, really great. Yeah. So.
And the States have really responded to you, right? They love you when you guys come over here. I know Philadelphia, Kansas City. Have you done New York, Boston, any of those areas? Chicago, big Irish. And you don't have to be Irish to love your music, of course, or any of the Irish artists. you just love the music for the music. But they do have big, obviously, Irish populations in Boston, New York, Chicago, areas like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think Ireland has 32 counties, 32 different districts of people are kind of aligned to. Boston, I guess, by many people is considered the 33rd county insofar as the Irish influence that's running through there. So we're yet to play a show in Boston, but it's something that we're really really excited about. We've been to the States a couple of times, played shows, but I think in 2021, fingers crossed, we can spend a bit more time there. We've had an interesting time in North America as a whole, from beginning really, the start of the band being really founded in Montreal and playing different residencies around the States as well. So we've even found ourselves in Central Florida. So we have just some really really wonderful memories there. So.
Awesome. That's awesome. A couple of people are saying they think maybe you could slide a little closer to the microphone. I guess they're having some trouble hearing. Maybe the mic might be. I hear it fine because I have the headphones on, but they're probably 3 feet from their computers. So better. Is that better, gang? Mick, you are now the newest levity. Boy, that didn't take long for you to be a levity, my friend. I know you've been watching the shows, and I appreciate
Yes.
that. You enjoy sort of the vibe we've created here on the Jim Master Show
Absolutely.
Live, huh?
Yeah. Positivity and good vibes. So it goes a long way. I hope people can hear me a bit clearer there now. So.
Exactly. So that's really cool. Now let's talk about Corner Boy, because this, for our viewers, I know there's a lot of fans watching too, but there might be some new folks who are being introduced to you for the very first time. Christine Clifton, I'll just show you some of the great levity comments coming in. Welcome to Ireland's Corner Boy, to the Jim Master Show Live, Levity Hall. We will have great music soon. You're now a levity. Cheers to you all. And she's in North Carolina, USA. Marilyn Hammond is in Wichita, Kansas. Welcome, Mick, to Levity Hall. Celtic Caper Girl 1 says, Dublin, would love to visit one day. Kathleen Walker, New York City, says, welcome, Mick. And Ann Wozniak says, would love to see you perform at the St. Augustine Celtic and Music Festival when it resumes. That is, I believe, is that Florida, Ann? Is that St. Augustine? Yeah. I'm thinking that's where she's talking about. And Merlin says, please turn up your volume still, Merlin.
Let me try to get this up. Hopefully you can hear me a bit better there now, Merlin.
She couldn't hear you all the way up in Canada. It must be snowing heavy where she is. The snow reduces the ability to hear.
That's it. Yeah. I think that's how it goes.
A snowstorm will do it anytime. Florida, yes, and Florida. St. Augustine, Florida, of course. Beautiful, beautiful place. Bernadette, Dublin, a lovely city. Irish musicians are near and dear to my heart. There is, speaking of Merlin, who's in Ontario, who's in Canada, of course, there is a Canadian connection of sorts with Corner Boy, which I think is awesome. Tell us about that. It involves Montreal, right?
Yeah, I had an opportunity a couple of years ago to study in a liberal arts college just outside of Montreal. So I was furthering my studies here in Dublin, and I guess at that stage, I'd been gigging for a long, long time. Really started off when I was gigging in venues at 13, 14 years of age. I kind of played every venue twice. So when I'd been offered a place on an international program, he said, look, where do you want to go? Most people are going to Paris or Berlin or London. And I said, where is the furthest place from Ireland and Dublin that I could go? And he said, well, you could go to Canada. So that's where I ended up. And really it was, I guess, the perfect tonic for me at the time. And it has been, it's the case for a lot of songwriters, that to go to a place like Montreal that has such a rich history and pedigree in folk music as well. I really arrived there as a songwriter, kind of devoid of ideas, a bit of writer's block, and I guess it is the case like a lot of places that they have their own unique energy and kind of aura to them. And arriving in Montreal was one of the best things that happened to me musically, because all of the neurons started firing again, and all of these songs just started coming out left, right, and center. Those songs ended up becoming the first Corner Boy songs. I sent them back to musicians and friends in Ireland, and they loved them. We started collaborating over them, and the band began really. So, and from there, it's grown onward. So.
Now, Merlin still says she can't hear you, but Christine says she can. So I don't know, Merlin, if it's something on your end, because he sounds loud and clear to us here. We don't want to blast it too much. Maybe boost it just a little bit.
Yeah.
You sound really good on this end to everybody here at the studio and other listeners. But yeah, everything sounds good here. So anyway, shovel that snow in Canada, Merlin. And Merlin, she's all set. Now she got you in Canada. Hey, Mick, great. She goes, I guess that means you're good. Volume is better. Volume is better. Volume is great. Better. It's loud and clear.
Very good. Very good.
Good. So you've been reading lips the whole time, Levities, huh? A new skill you learned on the Jim Master Show Live. But so that's really, really cool. And tell us about where you are now. You're in Dublin, and this is sort of the studio, right?
Yeah, so this is the kind of home studio setup that I have in Dublin. We have a studio in Wexford as well, where the band are predominantly from. So we kind of grew up living unique in many ways. We living 10 or 15 minutes drive away from one another. So we're really from the kind of same area. County Wexford is just in the southeast of Ireland. And an absolutely wonderful place to grow up and live. It's only about 2 hours south of Dublin, so but a really, really interesting place as it goes. Geographically, it's for a long time in Irish history, it's really been seen as, the entry port to Ireland. It's right on the southeast corner, and it's where a lot of different, in Irish historical terms, a lot of different civilizations would have come through Ireland. So be it French or Norman or Anglo-Saxon, and even the Vikings. So it's got a really, really interesting energy and history to it, and as a result of that, a lot of the creative output that comes from the area is quite unique and interesting. So I guess we were lucky to grow up within that, and it's been explored a lot. There's some really wonderful artists and sculptors and painters and musicians, poets and writers, some really, really world famous ones as well. So it's been it was really the perfect kind of breeding ground for us growing up. So yeah, that we began in 2012, and we really started out as a group just wanting to write our own music and really see how we got on. And since then, really, it's just been the most incredible outlet for us to, meet new people, new places, new faces, and to travel the world in the end. So to be able to tour in places like the Middle East and Asia, all across Europe and North America, it's been a really, really special life experience that we didn't set out initially for that. We just really wanted to be creative and do something with creative energy and to play music. But it's been wonderful, because maybe we're lucky in a way that whatever it is about the Irish spirit, that when we show up in places, really people really do tend to get behind you, and they really enjoy the energy of Irish music in particular. So like when I think of places that we've been, showing up and playing to 2,500 people in a lake in South Korea, and you take out a fiddle and a banjo.
It's unbelievable when you think about it, right?
The level of reaction you get from people. Irish music seems to travel incredibly well around the world. So.
Yeah, well, it makes you feel good, and there's a lot of history to it, and there's a lot of toe tapping. I mean, I know here in the States, and I know with my work with public television, anything Irish has always been just soaked up by the audience. They just love it, whether it was Riverdance or the Celtic Woman, Celtic Thunder, the Irish Tenor. Some of the folks I was telling you about that I've been up to work with. It's just something about the feeling of it, and you guys really have this love of folk rock, and you sort of blend folk and rock into Corner Boy. tell us about that. But first, tell us about the name Corner Boy. There is it's an actual phrase in Ireland too, right?
It is, believe it or not, and the story is quite interesting. It wasn't just something that we
Just said,
decided upon it, and it kind of links back to Montreal as well. When I was over there writing new music, I'd written music, I'd sent it home to the guys, and then I came home to Ireland for Christmas. And the guys were like, "Look, we should really put together a name around this." So the story actually originates from my English teacher in school. So I was very lucky to go to a secondary school in Wexford called St. Peter's College. Now from there, some really, really well-renowned writers have come from, like John Banville, who's a Man Booker Prize winner, Colm Tóibín, who wrote the book Brooklyn, which later went on to be the movie starring Saoirse Ronan. So there was a really rich history and legacy of literature through the school. And I had this wonderful English teacher called Tom Murray, and we used to talk about literature and about poems and stories, short stories as well. And anytime he would ask me questions in class, he would ask me to put my hand up to ask a question. I would always keep it down because I preferred kind of speaking to him one-on-one instead of a whole class of 30 students. And he'd kind of always, call me out and go, Mick Darcy, you're only a corner boy, because I sat in the corner of the classroom. So when I came back from Montreal that Christmas, I was in the pub with a few of the lads, and they said we were looking for a name. And one of the guys said, "Oh, do you remember Tom Murray? Yeah, he passed away. And do you remember he used to call you Corner Boy?" And I went, "Yeah, that'll do." So it's really, in a strange way, kind of in memory to him, somebody who inspired a love for reading and writing, and which has gone on to really kind of inform the music that I've written. So it's it has a nice story behind it.
Let's talk about how you formed the group. How did you get the other members together, and when did you form it, and what was that process like? And of course, folks just joining us, we welcome you here. We're live. Mick Darcy is the founder and lead performer for the very popular Irish folk rock band Corner Boy, live and direct right now from his studio in Dublin, Ireland. I'm your host, Jim Masters. We're live worldwide on the show, and he's a great guest to have, and we've got a lot of music coming up, so don't go anywhere this Saturday afternoon or evening for you. We tried to make this not too late, because normally we do the show at 7 p.m. Eastern, and we had a couple of the guests from Ireland on, and they were troopers. They started at midnight, and I said, "You sure?" And then I said, "You know what, let's do it earlier, because starting something, by the time, unless you have a bottle of wine with you, starting at midnight can be a little bit of a..."
if you have the right thing in your cup, it shouldn't really be an issue yet.
I have noticed that with the artists from Ireland and Scotland and England that I have interviewed, that were midnight. So you came up with the idea how long ago, and then formed the group. And even before that, what were you doing before Corner Boy? Working in music?
Yeah, so I come from a kind of a farming background. I pretty much live in the middle of nowhere back home in Wexford. And I guess the great thing about the area and the formation of the band is that Wexford is considered to be quite a rural place, but there's a really rich pedigree and history of people who love the Irish language. They love traditional Irish music, Irish sport as well, hurling and Gaelic football. So it was really easy for me then to come home from Montreal, and because really there's a great community of Irish musicians. I needed a fiddle player, I needed a banjo player. It was quite an easy job. So I returned and I hooked up with some of the guys, and really it was a very DIY kind of start. Yeah. We recorded 2-3 songs, put them up online. And in a very kind of modern way, music blogs started talking about the tracks. Then the first festival we ever played was Spirit of Folk Festival in Ireland. They read about us in the blog, and then it just really started in this really, really organic way, just friends coming together and musicians that wanted to make the very best out of the songs, and people having a real real love and affection towards the music and wanting to see it do well. And I guess another thing about coming from where we come from, in Wexford, it's quite tribal. Like if people need support, people will rally around it. And so there was all these kind of key moments, featuring on your first blog and featuring on your first festival lineups. But the real moment that I guess really sparked it for us was, so in Ireland there's this late night TV talk show. It's on every Friday night called The Late Late Show. So
It's a great place. Yeah. Great show.
yeah. So I believe it's one of the oldest talk shows in the world. I think one of them anyway. So it's been going a long, long time. But
One of my buddies was on that recently. Darren Holden from the High Kings?
Yeah.
He was on it recently too. Yeah, it's cool.
Yes. So I guess we as a group, people had really great, they really wanted to support us. They really enjoyed the music, and we were kind of plucked from obscurity, like a real, dream scenario. And all of a sudden we went from playing these kind of small bars and pubs to the Late Late Show, which I think has, a TV audience of about kind of on any given night, maybe up to like 2 million people. So
That's a lot.
yeah. So
Is that from the RTE? Is that
that's it? Yeah.
the RTE network?
RTE or national broadcaster. So really it came from that, and we were one of the first acts in a long time from Wexford specifically to feature on it. So you having our hometown behind us was a great springboard. And I think from that moment onwards, the phone just didn't stop ringing, and we were invited to gig then and play tours in mainland Europe, and we were invited to the UK. I think we played in I remember one St. Patrick's Day, we played in Trafalgar Square for St. Patrick's Day to about 20,000 people. We were invited to play in Ireland's largest stadium for the half time of an All-Ireland final to about 80,000 people, which is the capacity of it. So like some really, really great opportunities. So it was a strange time really to go from zero to all of this notoriety. So it was, but it's been really, really great since, like I said earlier, the opportunity to do something that you really, really love and then to travel the world with it has been incredible. So we're we feel, and we often say it to one another, we feel quite blessed with it. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It's gone beyond what you probably even expected, right?
Yeah, no, completely. And I guess a lot of that in itself is down to how Irish music and Irish culture is perceived abroad as well. We're very lucky to be a kind of well-liked nation. I'm told, I think the Irish diaspora is something like close to 70 million people around the world. So generally, when you go into a room somewhere and you start playing Irish traditional music and folk music and ballads, you could walk into the most silent room and you start playing, and the first person starts to tap their foot.
Right.
Somebody else a couple minutes later starts to clap their hands, and then suddenly after like 30 minutes the whole room is there, which is so it's this
It's
kind
like
of
it's like a big Irish session, right?
yeah, it's this unique sort of mystical power it seems to have almost. It's and it's great for us to kind of to be creative within that, and yeah, it's a real honor.
Absolutely. Gillian O'Rourke. What a great name. If that's not Irish, I don't know what is. Love Mick. What a great guy. Also love the Baby Yoda on the top of the tree.
This guy, yes. I don't know
Gil-
if you can
Gil-
see. So
Gillian has great eyes. Do you know Gillian or?
yes, I think I do. Yeah.
I was going to say.
Next time I see her, I'll have to tell her that she has great eyes. Yeah.
Tell it. Yeah, I know the viewers like to know all the time. They ask, the room that the guests are in. Tell us about, you're in the studio there in Dublin. Tell us
Yeah.
about the room that you're in.
So back to this guy here. I guess conventionally most people would have an angel on top of their Christmas tree, but we're big Star Wars fans in this house. So this evening it is the Baby Yoda, and he will stay there and help us celebrate Christmas for the next coming week. So but the apartment here and the home studio setup that I have, it's down in the kind of Dockland region of Dublin, a relatively new part of Dublin, but it's really, really great down here. It's quite new, and there's a lot of young people living in the area. It's just a real great energy about the place. a lot of creative things going on here as well. So I guess to sit here and live here and be creative within that with music, it's a really, really good place to be. So I guess the thing that needs to be constantly remembered, even about Dublin and Ireland, that it's still, I guess, in relative terms to most countries, still a very young country. It tends to change kind of every 5-10 years. It's progressing at a real rapid rate, and it's wonderful because Dublin is such a accepting and multicultural city as well. So a lot of people, and even people I've met all over the world, it's a real ambition of theirs to travel to Dublin one day. So there seems to be a magnetism about it, along with other European countries like London or Amsterdam or Paris. So people really feel that it's kind of a bucket list location for them. So it's great to be here because there's so many people flowing through Dublin all the time. There's this really great, exciting energy about the place, and it is, like I said, still quite a young city. So it's developing, and it's really great to be here and be creative in the city. Yeah.
Absolutely. A couple of comments coming in here from our viewers. Celtic Caper Girl 1 says, has your band been inspired by other Irish bands such as U2 or some of the others?
Yes, absolutely. This area of Dublin actually is very synonymous with U2 specifically, because their studio is literally a 5-minute walk from here. I can actually see it from my window, which is quite strange. So, but it's hard not to. I think the thing about the Irish spirit in many ways, when you leave the country, it's going out into the world and being ambitious, and really, that sense of being an underdog. We're only that kind of small wee country, and to see acts like U2 leave Dublin back in the 80s and to go on to the heights that they did and to achieve what they have achieved. I mean, you can't help but not look at that and think what a wonderful achievement, and something to aim towards. That, and the fact that they've really written some of the best Irish songs really of all time. So, and considered by a lot of people around the world. So they're a great inspiration. They've done an awful lot for the country as well. So they're great, and obviously the Pogues are the Pogues. Wonderful inspiration to us. We played a festival actually 3 years ago. The big music festival in Ireland is called Electric Picnic, and we were coming off stage. We played this stage called the Salty Dog stage, which is basically a pirate ship in the middle of the woods. So it's this very kind of famous stage at this festival that it supports all the kind of independent Irish acts. They all come together and they put on this absolute party in the woods. People come there and it's going to like 3 in the morning. But we were coming off stage and Shane MacGowan was walking on stage. So it's one of those things when you come across people like that, you think, wow,
yeah,
what a legacy behind him. And many of his songs we've played, we've kind of reinterpreted in our own way. We've learned, because learning songs like Rainy Night in Soho, there's an awful lot to learn and understand within that about how to kind of paint landscapes and stories and characters into song. And I think with bands like U2 and the Pogues, more than anything, they're great bands, but they're a great education to other acts. So.
You mentioned the Folk Alliance, which is really, really cool. We actually have a clip from that you and your team sent along. And do you want to intro or preface that a little bit so people can be familiar, and then we'll show that? That's cool.
Yes. So Folk Alliance is, I guess, it's like the largest gathering of folk musicians in the world. It happens once a year in North America. We were invited along this year to, in part, represent Ireland. So, but it is, for any lovers of folk music out there, it is the party to be at. And we were very lucky. We were very lucky to go and represent Ireland in the year that it was in New Orleans, which is, I mean, I've been to many cities all over the world, and talking about a place that has such a unique energy flowing through it, New Orleans for me is just it's out on its own. It's a wonderful, wonderful city.
Cool
Every
place.
single corner you're hearing music blasting out from a different musician, a different show that's going on, and for us, we arrived and we just soaked it all in, and I guess it was a wonderful opportunity for us as well, because the conference in itself, you play showcases, and you demonstrate your music and what you're about. You tell your story, and it's great to just be involved within that community, and to meet other people who are on a similar journey to you, and obviously to explore New Orleans underneath all of that was absolutely incredible. So yeah, a really, really wonderful experience.
Have you ever been to South Africa?
We have not been to. I have not been to South Africa. No, we haven't traveled there yet. So I
Because
think it's.
one of our lovely viewers said, would love to visit Ireland. Do you want a house swap?
I would love to go to South Africa. So it's not.
Yeah.
It's on a similar enough time zone, I believe, to Dublin. So it wouldn't be too disruptive, I think. So yeah,
Speaking
maybe.
English too helps, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
As much a singer, songwriter, and musician too, and multi-instrumentalist, would you say?
Yeah, and I guess it's the thing growing up, particularly with a lot of the guys in the band. There's our let's take Keen, our keyboardist, for example. We have a song where Keen begins the song on keyboard, and then he switches to accordion, and then at the end of it he's playing tin whistle. So it's one of those things that when you're growing up, you really to align yourself to traditional Irish music. You really there's so many different sounds and different styles that you can play within, and so many different examples of songs that it kind of teaches you to just pick up any instrument, really. So I am the lead singer. I'm a guitar player. I play a bit of drums, a bit of keyboard when I'm programming in and writing songs. So it's really a whole mixed bag of everything. You just kind of throw yourself at the creative process and see what can come out of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. We got that clip with Focal Alliance. Let's take a look at that, and you can hear some of their sound, everybody. And then we will be, yes, you got it right, Celtic Keeper Girl 1, multi-talented. Absolutely. Merlin asked, which was kind of interesting, she asked the question, I just want to let you know too, some of the Levity viewers say they're already sort of booking you guys. We'd love to host you in Maryland, USA. Yeah. From their mouths to God's ears, right? God's ears. Mick, you should bring Corner Boy to Bethlehem. That's Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, the Celtic Festival when it comes back as well. So a couple of people are already sort of putting the feelers out there. And Merlin says, I'm glad to hear Montreal was good to you. And that's cool. And something, they love the tree behind you as well. Speaking of which, Merlin asks, is my present under your tree?
I could send baby Oda over to you maybe. So right. Yeah, he's not under the tree, very much on top of the tree, but yeah, he adds a wonderful quality to this festive time. Yeah.
They'll also take you in Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, Canada as well. You have invitations there as well.
So yeah, well, look, it's Ireland's
these are levities. These are real levities here.
Ireland's connection with Eastern Canada is so strong. It stretches back a long time. So, in fact, when I first arrived in Montreal, speaking with Canadian people at first, they were like, oh, you're in Newfie. What part of Newfoundland are you from? So they genuinely felt that, because of my accent, that, so there's really a lot of mixed history there, particularly between, the Irish and Scottish and English and Welsh communities. So it's really, really great. Yeah. We'd love
Ohio wants you too there. Now. Ohio Celtic and Irish Fest would love to see you here. I think, you just stick with our show here. We're going to have the whole year booked for you.
That's perfect.
It's going to be over here in the States, but that'll be cool.
we had big plans to tour all across America this year, but obviously with the way that everything fell. So look, hopefully 2021 will be a bit kinder, and all of those lovely places you mentioned, we will be able to visit them hopefully. So yeah, stay tuned, I will say, for 2021.
We will keep you posted, folks. You stay tuned. Here's Corner Boy, the Folk Alliance, great music, and he's got his instruments there. He's going to perform songs for us live. So we got a great afternoon in store for you here as we continue. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We've got our cup of coffee. Mine has a little Bailey's. And did you move on to anything else? I see a different glass there.
I think I'm pretty close to moving on to something new here. So I might kind of shimmy to the left here when you play this video.
Well, yeah, that's what everybody does. And this is funny. We've had people for various reasons sometimes have to get up out of their chair and disappear for a second. So we have several episodes where for at least a minute or two, I'm talking to an empty chair because they had to just, slide out for whatever reason for a second and then come back. So if you need to slide out to get ice, feel free. And we're going to kick that into gear now with the Folk Alliance. Enjoy, everybody. And then Mick and I will be back in just a second. Good to have you with us, Mick. It's a real pleasure.
That's great. I'm really enjoying it.
Me too.
'Twas on one bright March morning I bid New Orleans adieu. I took the road to Jacksontown, my fortune.
This fella loves to work, so he does work a few pints in 3 minutes.
Chances out of 10 that the lads will arrive on time, Connor.
Foreign money, no credit.
What do you think, Jordan?
Could I gain?
It's well lined down my top.
Which filled my heart with longing for the lakes of Pontchartrain. I stepped on board a railroad car beneath the morning sun, and I rode the road till evening, and I laid me down again. All strangers here, no friends to me, till a dark girl toward me came. Oh, and I fell in love with a Creole girl by the lakes of Pontchartrain. I said, my pretty Creole girl, my money here is no good, and every word for the alligators I'd sleep out in the wood. I am welcome here, kind stranger. Our house it is very
Basically eating alligator. That's how hard I am. Quite hard.
a stranger out by the lakes of Pontchartrain. see you, no. But I'll never forget your kindness in the cottage by the shore, and at each social gathering, a flowing glass of rays. Those are they drink a health to my Creole girl by the lakes on the tree.
That's really nice. That's really cool. So a couple of people asked, did you visit? Of course you did, the French Quarter when you were there. And you were mentioning that
extensively visited.
extensively visited, not just visited, but
oh yeah,
he left his fingerprints everywhere. And he and the lads.
That's where all the good stuff is at. So yeah. Incredibly unique city, and even the way that it looks architecturally, the influence of the Spanish and then the French, and then obviously the more modern influences, and then obviously the more modern stories of what New Orleans has gone through in the last couple of years. So like, you know,
Katrina, the hurricane,
the very finest people that you will meet, really incredibly interesting people. Everyone has a story there, and it's very
hardy, resilient stock there. Absolutely. Yeah, very much so. Mary Bishop in Florida says beautiful in watching the video. Celtic Caper Girl says Cape Bretoners there in Nova Scotia get mistaken for Newfies too, LOL. Kathy Short says, love that song. I'm a new fan here. Awesome. Juanita in South Africa says, wowie, music for the soul. You have a beautiful voice. Bernadette, loving the video clip. And Wozniak says, perfect. Cool stuff. And we actually have another clip here for you folks too. Now this one here, Mick, this is another cool one. This one is the South Korea visit. Tell us again about that. That must have been, again, some amazing experience for you guys.
Yeah, I guess first and foremost, these kind of videos for us, you know, looking back at that video, just they're really, really wonderful memories for us as we travel to different places and meet new people and new locations to play our music. They're great to have, as you know, to really capture the moment, and for us to kind of as individuals, even almost to be able to look back years from now. They're almost kind of tour diary videos, but we get offers to play really in a lot of places all over the world. Sometimes we can make it work, sometimes we can't. But we got an offer for South Korea about 2 years ago, and we said, like, we really can't turn this down.
How are we going to turn that? Yeah.
We more than anything, I don't think an awful lot of Irish acts even really get to travel there and play. So it was something that was completely unique and out on its own. So we couldn't turn it down, and we went. And again, you know, in terms of people and character and the fortitude of a people and of a culture, honestly, you know, really one of the best places you could go. South Korea, I think, you know, they're just really the happiest people you'll ever meet. Koreans are, they're really, really lovely and so open and welcoming to other cultures. And I guess as an Irish band, we were almost aliens to them, but we were completely welcomed with open arms. Like I said, I kind of alluded to it there earlier. You show up in Korea and you play to these people with a fiddle and a banjo and Irish traditional music or aspects to it, and they've maybe never even heard it before, but completely behind us all the way, and we enjoyed every moment of those shows. So, and luckily enough, we were able to capture some of it on video. So, and this is said video.
This is said video, as he said, what he said.
and this is now Jameson. So cheers to everyone, folks.
The holiday season has officially begun in Dublin.
Now it has.
Now it's begun. here in the States and in Dublin. All right, fill your glasses, folks. More Irish crack coming your way. I know you guys love when we have a lot of Irish crack. You know, it's very funny, and I mention it all the time when we have Irish artists on. I have to make sure here in the States and probably in Canada too, that when I say we did a lot of Irish crack on the show, that I explain that it's a jolly good time. And it's CRAIC and nothing else. Jim Masters and Mick Darcy did crack on his show last night. That would go viral and everything else.
Crack as in banter, maybe. That
as in banter and fun.
Term.
Yeah. Exactly. Love the video from Maryland and Wichita, Kansas, and enjoyed the video clip while listening to your beautiful song from Christine Clifton in North Carolina. What is it with the Irish loving Star Wars and Baby Yoda? Ryan Kelly,
yes.
And they're also Star Wars.
Of course, the more recent Star Wars movies were actually shot in Skellig Michael, which is this kind of ancient monastery off the coast of County Kerry, which is in the southwest corner. So it's really almost in the Atlantic Ocean. So it's a very rural place to get to. So Star Wars was shot there in the last couple of years. So, and I guess these mega stars rolled into town, and typically like a remote Irish place, completely again just welcomed with open arms. And the thing about, I guess, Irish people as well, if you could be one of the most famous people in the world, and people will just they'll kind of leave you to your own. They won't really bother you. They'll give you a wave and say hello. They're very much want to welcome you and allow you to experience the country in a genuine way. So you would have had the likes of Mark Hamill walking around and people just being like, you're very welcome. So it was and I think the legacy has lived on in this fella here. So yeah.
That's it. and this fellow too, comedian George Burns, is with us here. He's always with us. And a few other cast of characters. We're going to take everybody now by way of our friends from Corner Boy to South Korea. And again, we've got more videos. We've got live music. Mick is all set up to perform a couple of cool songs for us as well here. And let's travel to South Korea together, gang. Levities around the world. Thanks for joining us on the Jim Master Show Live. If you're on YouTube, if you are on YouTube and you're new to us, we'd love it if you subscribe to the channel and share some levity there. Click the notification bell so you never miss any content. Now onward to South Korea. Another cool one, Mick. I tell you, that's a great song. Did you write that? Tell us about that song.
Yeah, We Are the Hunger. That's from our last record. So our last record was recorded with great producer Ted Hutt, who has worked. He collaborated with us. He came over from the States, and Ted is kind of known for working with bands like Old Crow Medicine Show and the Dropkick Murphys. So we were trying to really, with our last record, just blend the different styles of kind of a more, aggressive elements of rock music and folk music and traditional Irish music. And I guess, a guy who works with acts like the Dropkick Murphys, it was the perfect kind of blend and partnership with that. So, and We Are the Hunger is a track from that record that we recorded in a really great studio here in Ireland, a place called Grouse Lodge, which is kind of world renowned because all of the real great acts a lot of great acts who have visited Ireland have recorded there. I guess more notably, I think Michael Jackson lived there for 3 or 4 months. So it was really, really great to be in there and working with such top quality people.
Well, I tell you, lots of comments coming in. I love that song. What album is that on again?
That's from our most recent EP, which was released in 2018, called Goodbye Old Holy, and that's on Spotify, YouTube,
Amazon, all of it,
all of the places. Yeah.
Cool stuff. Singing along, Bernadette, Gillian O'Rourke, gorgeous, and Wozniak, claps. That's really cool. And Celtic Caper Girl there in Nova Scotia says wonderful. And more, Gillian is clapping as well. Kathleen Walker in New York City, loving it. Fun times, great song. Juanita, South Africa. Kathy Short in Cleveland, Ohio, loves it as well. Mary Bishop in Mary Bishop was supposed to be working. She wasn't sure if she was going to catch the show, but somehow she's able to catch the show. She knew she loves the Irish artist too, and she's like, somehow I'm not missing it. So I don't know if she's sneak watching it at work or if she got home in time, but we're glad to have you with us, Mary. Fantastic.
Well, cheers, Mary. We're having one for you here, so thanks for tuning in.
We're all having one for you. And Gillian says, play us a tune. Yep, he's going to do that as well. We got that lined up. Loved it. I love your sound volume turned up to the max. Absolutely. You want to do that with these songs. Another great song, too. We do have another, before we have you do any live, we'll chat some more, but we also have another video here that we want to show our fantastic audience around the world. Cool beans having everybody here. Hope you're enjoying the Irish crack. Get this set up here. Now, this one here, Kansas City. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, so, truly in the spirit of 2020, this is one of these songs that I guess when there is this whole ecosystem of artists. When we're out touring on the road, we run into each other in different places, and certainly in the Irish music scene, 2020 kind of came to a standstill, and all of these great musicians that we would usually be meeting in venues all over the country and even abroad, you just don't meet them, you don't run into them. So we decided to do something that was a bit more collaborative. So we got some of the top musicians and players in Ireland. We have on that video, we have an uilleann pipe player called Mark Redmond, who is from Wexford, where we're from. Mark has played for the Pope. He's played for the Queen of England. He's really and more than that, as a musician and as somebody who has applied himself to the art of uilleann pipe playing, he's truly exceptional player. We have Dermot Sheedy, who is a good friend of ours from another Irish band, Hermitage Green. Shane Hennessy, another guy who is a virtuoso guitar player, really, truly, truly amazing. And Tara Heffernan, who is a vocalist from another Irish band, In the Willows. So in the spirit of 2020, we decided to come together and collaborate via the internet. And we did a great song from the new Basement Tape Sessions, which was a record released a couple years ago called Kansas City. So there's a bit of a kind of myth behind this song. So when Bob Dylan years back had a motorcycle accident, he rented a house and basically set himself up there for a few months, and he wrote many different songs. But years later, people went into the house and they found this kind of old cupboard that was locked. They opened it and they found a bunch of old lyrics that Bob Dylan had written. And this project, the new Basement Tapes, as opposed to the Basement Tapes, which was the original record, it's musicians, contemporary musicians, taking these lyrics and almost kind of finishing them and creating the songs fully fleshed out. So we had we recently began working with Uptown Artist Agency, which are based in Kansas City. So with the song and the fact that we were playing Kansas City Irish Festival, we said, look, we have to play this song. Let's make a collaboration out of it. Let's get as many people from the different corners of Ireland together, edit the video, and give it a go. So and this is my introduction to that said song. Yeah.
We heard from Mary Bishop in Florida, and she's actually watching her 92-year-old client that she cares for, and her 92-year-old client and she are watching the show together and loving it. That is cool. Cheers to your, God bless her, 92, the client that Mary is overseeing, I guess, like a home health aide type thing. All right, we're going to now take you to, I tell you, you didn't even have to leave your home or your chair to be able to go to New Orleans, South Korea, Kansas City with Mick and I taking you as we were tour guides. This is cool stuff, isn't it? Didn't even cost a plane ticket for these lovely viewers. With music to boot, too.
Absolutely.
You go refill that glass and we'll
I will.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Ready to go. Or
The first one's gone already?
yes,
It's Saturday, right? It's Saturday. It's late night. You did your day already. You just relax. All right. Here's Kansas City. Enjoy it. More incredible music from Corner Boy coming up. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Great Saturday here on the Jim Master Show live. Levity.
I listen to you time and time again, while you tell me just what's right, and you tell me 1,000 things a day, and sleep somewhere else in the night. I'm going back to Kansas City. And I love you, dear, but just how long can I keep singing the same old song? And I love you, dear, but just how long can I keep singing the same old song? I'm going back to Kansas City.
When you call me to come and then I do. Then you say you made some mistake. You invite me into your house. Then you say you gotta pay for what you bring. Going back to Kansas City.
And I love you, dear, but just how long can I keep singing the same old song? And I love you, dear, but just how long can I keep singing the same old song? I'm going back to Kansas City. I'm going back now. See a woman, know every place I go.
Even 1,000 miles away from home.
You don't care if I'm asleep or I'm awake. This fickle heart is turned to stone. Going back to Kansas City. And I love you, dear, but just how long can I keep singing the same old song? And I love you, dear, but just how long can I keep singing the same old song? I'm going back to Kansas City. And I love you, dear, but just how long can I keep singing the same old song? And I love you, dear, but just how long can I keep singing the same old song? I'm going back to Kansas City.
I like that little bit at the end. At the end, like these songs are awesome. These songs are, it really is folk rock because it's got elements of both. Because sometimes when people hear folk, they hear something that maybe, I don't know, maybe it has a little bit more of an older sound, or maybe there's a little bit of a twang in there or what have you. It's just a misconception of what folk is. I've had an opportunity to interview a lot of folk artists. I've interviewed Peter, Paul, and Mary, and a lot of different ones over the years. But the rhythms and the beats and the percussion and all the original instruments and everything do give it a spot-on blend of folk essences with rock sensibility blend in there too. And that is a fantastic achievement for you guys. It's a really cool vibe and pleasing, positive, feel-good sound, Mick.
Yeah, I guess, it's always been the mission of the band to have music that was really, energetic and sounded positive, and to bring energy into rooms when we're performing live, to show up in places and almost kind of, in a way try and achieve, transforming the energy of a place and really getting people moving and, and enjoying shows and the experience of live music. So it's always really been at the core of what we've done. That was really one of the kind of founding tenets of the group when we first came together. We're like, we want to go out into the world and, put on great shows that truly, when people leave every night, they feel happy that that they've moved, they've really connected with the music. And for us, growing up with a very eclectic mix of music that we enjoyed, to be able to blend different aspects of traditional Irish music, folk music, ballads, rock and roll and blues and bluegrass, for us to be able to do that and to play all of these different genres that we love and we enjoy, it's a real privilege.
So uplifting listening to and watching others making music. Music has been getting me through these crazy days. And I bet you hear that a lot too, right? Music, especially music that makes you feel good, can get you through some of the darkest times. It can be very healing for a lot of people, especially like with the crazy year we've all had this year.
Yeah, and I think, most musicians that I know, it's a very interesting life to lead. You could be out on the road for weeks, months at a time. You could be in strange parts of the world that you don't really know. But I guess the thing about music and being creative, and particularly writing music, is time, strangely enough, doesn't almost exist. You could be sitting down to kind of work within a theme of a song and producing it, and 10 minutes, or sorry, 3 or 4 hours may feel like 10 minutes. So it's just one of these things that you can really sit down and be with your thoughts and be mindful and kind of really live in the moment, because for the most part you do need to be really, really present when you're creating music. So I guess it's just one of those things where it's like almost a natural kind of healer in some ways. And and even music itself, to be able to get up and play shows, and I think to see people enjoying themselves and being happy, and having the distinct honor it is to be able to make people enjoy themselves and be entertained and happy. I mean, you get off stage and you just think to yourself, this is such a pleasure, really, and such an honor to be able to connect with people this way. So yeah, it's a lot of things, really. Like, yeah,
it's a multitude of things. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, the demographics are all over the board. I mean, you really appeal to a variety of cultures and backgrounds and ages and everything. There's really something for everybody in these tunes, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, no, I think it's at the core of it. It's taking music and instrumentation that is associated with the kind of the old world, and almost dragging it into the new world, trying to contemporize it, and that can be difficult at times, but it's taking something that's very familiar, but kind of augmenting it slightly and trying to see it through your own lens of how you view it in 2020 or 2021 or beyond. So it's great. And the very foundations of folk music, you can listen to folk music from the 20s, the 40s, the 60s, the 80s, but when you're writing in the moment in 2020, it's like, how do I want folk music to sound in 2020? And when you're being creative, it's just about coming to terms with that and being really, really honest. So and it's it's such a great challenge to have, you know, to be able to do that. You know, what does folk music sound like in the year 2020, and to be able to pursue that, it's really, really enjoyable for us. And we've written so much new material this year that we're really, really excited about recording, and getting out into the world in 2021. So fingers
crossed, fingers, toes,
Yeah.
and everything, right?
Oh yeah,
Even praying to Yoda. Maybe Yoda.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yoda could
Yeah.
do something. We got some more coming your way. Now we're taking you to this one we have from the Cultural Ireland stage. We're happy that we have this too. Taking it to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Tell us about this clip and this song as well, my friend.
Yeah, so first of all, this clip, I think it's like half an hour long, so maybe we won't watch all of it, but we featured at the Culture Ireland stage at the Philadelphia Folk Festival this year. So like I said, we've played very few shows this year, and it's been so upside down and backward that, you know, a lot of them have been in the States, you know, or via online. So this is something that we recorded in Dublin City on an extremely warm day in August, I think. We recorded it in a venue in Dublin called the Workman's Club, a really, really great venue, just by the River Liffey. And yeah, it was pretty much like a film studio for the day. And this video then was shown at Philadelphia Folk Festival 2020 online. So we had great fun putting this together.
Did I hear you just say film?
Film.
I was telling Mick about the whole film story in the family, where my father has always said film, and when I was a kid, I used to try to correct Dad, who's also James. I'm the fifth James Masters, and matter of fact, he would always be Jim, and he's Jim, and I'm Jimmy. You know how when you're a kid, you're Jimmy, but it's really cool because I was interviewing Ronan Tynan on PBS television in America, and we were talking all these years later about, you know, celebrity and paparazzi, and he was, of course, performing with the Irish Tenors at the time. And here I am standing live on television, on public television, with Ronan next to me, and we're looking at each other and chatting, and all of a sudden he says, "Film," and I'm like, "Wait a minute, where have I heard that before?" And it's like, and you said they like to add, if the Irish can slip in an extra vowel, they will.
Oh, completely. And even if you look at the Irish language itself, Gaeilge, you know, it's considered to be incredibly like lyrical, like almost melodic, you know, in the way that it's structured. So, you know, throwing in extra syllables when there's completely no need to do it, you know, that's very much from my experience with the Irish language, the done thing. So, yeah.
Now there's several versions of the Irish language. There's Gaelic as well, right?
Yeah, so there's Gaelic and there's Scots Gaelic, and then in the Isle of Man there is a language called Manx, and then in the southeast of Ireland, where I come from, Wexford, there is a really ancient language called Yola. So there's an awful lot, and then even on the west coast of the UK in Cornwall, they have their own variation of language as well. So I mean, people, when they think of Celtic culture, they generally think of Ireland, but the Celtic culture is really wide ranging. Like other Celtic regions that are considered to be are the Breton region in France, Galicia in Spain, Scotland, Wales, Isle of Man. So there's a whole kind of a brotherhood going on there. So it's great.
Absolutely. And with all that said, now we're taking you to Philadelphia. He's taking you just on a nice tour around Ireland. You've learned something. Culture has been increased with Ireland.
Yeah.
And now we're heading to Philly. And enjoy this, folks. We'll be back. And yes, he's going to be playing live for us as well. And don't forget to fill the glass. You and our levities. And here is the Philadelphia Folk Festival. So this is recent, right? You said this is relatively recent?
Yes, very, very recent. I think this was actually... it was actually presented in September, so it is 36 minutes long, I believe. So we'll watch maybe one song, but just an example of what it was like to play and feature at Philadelphia Folk Festival this year.
Absolutely. All right, here we go, folks. Enjoy. When we'll be back.
Hailing from the southeast of Ireland, Corner Boy combine contemporary and traditional music to form a distinctive alternative folk music sound. They have toured throughout Europe, North America, the Middle East, and Asia. In 2018, they released their eagerly anticipated Goodbye Old Holy, an EP which was recorded by Grammy Award-winning producer Ted Hutt, who also worked with the Dropkick Murphys. And their debut album is scheduled for release next year. Please welcome Corner Boy.
I've been running around these streets for too long now, healing holes in my feet, healing hope to stand anew. As love's consolation leaves old images of you inside of my head, I wouldn't part with for silver or gold. If I could, you know I would, but I can't, so I guess it's time we should take heed of time's embrace and destroy the discontent of Hollywood or fame. I want it still, yes, I want it still. I want it still. So Moira, any chance that you could be the one, oh, and save me from the cold, cold man that I've become. Oh, I haven't danced all night now, no, in quite some time. Oh, but now I'm dancing again with you. Oh, under the pale moonlight. I've been running around these streets for too long now, healing holes, oh, when life's character breeds too. Stars, constellation leaves those images of you. Oh, then I'm wanting still, yes, I'm wanting still. Oh, images of you, I want it still. Moira, any chance that you could be the one, oh, and save me from the cold, cold man that I've become. Oh, I haven't danced all night now, no, quite some time. Oh, but now I'm dancing again with you. No, another pale moonlight, another pale moonlight. And should we fall in and out of each other's arms for the sake of love's rust and its running short, there is a call screaming out somewhere in the night, but I've been sleeping for quite some time. Tomorrow, any chance that you could be the one, oh, to save me from the cold, cold man that I've become. Oh, I haven't danced all night now, no, in quite some time. Oh, but now I'm dancing again with you. Oh, under the pale moonlight. I've been running around these streets for too long now, healing holes in my feet.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. We are Corner Boy, coming live from Dublin town.
a much quieter Dublin town than usual. And with that in mind, we're going to play this next tune. It's called Ghost Town City.
We were born by the railroad, catching sights and sounds the eyes and ears can't reach. Now I'm bold to carve their own code from those rivers, mountains, ghost town, city streets. Ghost town, city streets. So won't you come away with me? We'll board the next train. By night we'll see the sea. Won't you come away with me? Won't you come away with me? Won't you come away with me? And we'll board the next train. By night we'll see the sea. Oh, 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 oh. Cause we were born and raised by the steeple, all singing up the window, singing to make of seas. Now in blow, so the winds are changing from those rivers, mountains, ghost town, city streets. Ghost town, city streets. Won't you come away with me? We'll board the next train. By night we'll see the sea. Won't you come away with me? Won't you come away with me? Won't you come away with me? And we'll board the next train. By night we'll see the sea. Oh, 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 oh. Sweet and born by the railroad, catching sights and sounds the eyes and ears can reach. Now I'm bold to carve their own code from those rivers, mountains, ghost town, city streets. Ghost town, city streets.
I think we can up the pace here, boys, can't we, huh? It's gotta be quick, it's gotta be fast, right? All right. Let's get going here. This tune is called Let's Hit the Road. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. Fell in love. I fell in love with it all by accident with no time to talk. No time to walk. She was kind. Oh, so kind. She was kind. My mind was cynical and blue and made that way by you. Oh, darling, I packed up and walked 100,000 miles. Don't mean a thing 'cause you keep playing on my mind. But could this all be in vain? The love I've had and lost has gone and thought me pain. And it's love, it ain't nothing new. No, no, no. So how about this? Oh, let's hit the road. I ain't got no time for wasting here. Out of my own trouble times and my heart goes, and darkness is it coming for you. Nah, my love, I ain't going. Oh! And in my head, with a measured words until we meet again. It left me cold and it shook my soul. But I won't lie, for leaving you means I'll be paying out the cost. But to find myself, I must get lost. So now pack it up to walk 100,000 miles. Now and again you will be playing on my mind. That's right. But could this all be ending? The love I've had and lost has gone and thought me pain. In this life it ain't nothing new. No. So how about it? Oh, let's hit the road. I ain't got no time for wasting here. Out of my own trouble finds my goals and darkness is a common force. Now my love, I ain't going home. Oh, I ain't going home. Okay. We're not done. We gotta pick up the pace here. We gotta get some feet slapping, hands clapping, feet moving, stomping, grooving, all the way to Philadelphia. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. How could this all be insane? The love I had and lost has gone and thought me pain. In this life ain't nothing new. No. So how about it? Oh, let's hit the road. I ain't got no time for wasting it here. Out of my own trouble finds my goals and darkness is a coming for me. Now my love, I will fight. How about it? Oh, let's hit the road. I ain't got no time for wasting it here. Out of my own trouble finds my goals and darkness is a coming for me. Now my love, I ain't going home. Oh, I ain't going home. Okay.
Good stuff. It was so cool because you guys were just merging from song to song to song, and I'm like, you know what? We can't cut that like neatly, and it was just too good. And I mean, everybody loving it, toe tapping, and just I tell you, when your fans are there, they really have a grand time, don't they? I mean, they're so into it. They're jiving, they're moving, they're dancing, right?
I guess, yeah, that's kind of our whole shtick. It's what we do. We start and then it's pretty much, 100 miles an hour for about an hour and a half. So, it's great because you almost, you kind of just become completely enraptured in the performance. You show up and it's all about energy and it's all about having a good time. So it's very, very easy to do. Yeah. Certainly.
Well, look, Rose, who's watching, Rose Cullerton, welcome on our YouTube channel. Give it a nice subscribe, Rose. We would love that. This is warming me up on a cold winter night in Ontario, Canada, from Rose joining us here. Kathy Short in Cleveland, Ohio. Good stuff. Bernadette says, uplifting music. Thank you. Mary Bishop in Florida, you are really good. Bernadette also says, toe tapping, good music. Marilyn in Kansas says, great group. Such talented guys. Boy, oh boy, you boys are great. I mean, you guys are really talented. And the musicianship as well. As much as the singing, the musicianship is really, really spot on. I mean, you've surrounded yourself when you created Corner Boy with some really fine musicians and performers as well.
Yeah, look, just really, really lucky to have top players, around us and around the music. I guess one of the real joys of having people that came from a traditional Irish background is that to be able to play traditional Irish music, like you really, really need to put the hours in. You've got to put the time in, and it's generally a case for a lot of people in a lot of different communities. And it's very common in more remote or rural parts of Ireland. But from the age of maybe 4 or 5, you are thrown a fiddle or a banjo or an acoustic guitar, and it's something that helps you connect with other musicians. It helps you connect with your community, and it's almost this kind of unspoken language and you can talk to other people through music.
Right.
So it's a real gift, knowing these people that grow up. I've seen them go to every corner of the world and put on shows, and just to bring real joy, to rooms. It's really great. So, and that was our kind of digital experience of a show for Philadelphia Folk Festival. So it was really great to feature it there this year.
Did you want to intro us to the other guys as well, too? Some of your compadres here?
Yeah. So the guy on the left, standing beside me, is Matthew O'Brien, a banjo player, a mandolin player, an acoustic guitar player, a dobro player, a vocalist. That is me in the middle with my lovely red shirt. That is Keane on the right holding the accordion. Keane is a harmonica player. He's a piano player, he's an accordion player, he's a tin whistle player. These guys are all really skilled multi-instrumentalists. The redhead friend sitting up front on the left is our drummer, Michael Surland. I've been playing music with him since I was maybe 13, 14 years of age, and we've travelled the world together and seen a lot of stuff. And the guy on the front right then is Connor Foran, who is really one of the most talented musicians, instrumentalists, and producers, particularly, that I've met. He brings a real wonderful energy to the band. Really great guy. They're all great guys. So yeah, look, very lucky. That picture actually was taken in a place called Loftus Hall in County Wexford, which is considered to be the most haunted house in Ireland. So we had the run of the place there in the off season, and we went down there with a good friend of ours, a very well-known photographer called Padraig Grant, and we basically took over the place and walked around for a few hours. And pretty spooky place if people want to check it out online, called Loftus Hall. Yeah,
were the walls talking to you, the doors slamming on their own? And
no comment. I'll move on from that experience. It's
this is cool. Here, you won. Tell us about this. Was an honor, huh?
Yeah, this is some of our kind of earlier days. That was a competition called the Red Bull Bedroom Jam. So it was a competition that was run by Red Bull, and it was an All-Ireland battle of the bands. I think something like over 200 bands entered, or artists. And there was a whole stage of live concerts where you had to play the judges. So we entered. I think one of our friends even entered it.
Yeah.
So, we didn't really know much about the competition, and then people started voting for us. Like I was kind of explaining earlier about that very, very Wexford thing in the southeast of Ireland, where people just kind of back you. They're very tribal like that. Yeah. And we started getting votes. So we're like, right, sure, look, let's actually maybe look at this competition then. And we like I said, it was an All-Ireland competition, artists from all over. I think something like 200 entered, and we won it. We came first. So a really great memory from our early days. So
that is cool. Another cool shot there too with the gang, and this one too, another cool shot. What was happening here? Where were you guys here?
Another haunted house in a separate location.
There's a lot in Ireland, right?
Yeah, this place was actually in Rosslare, in the southeast of Ireland. So Rosslare is the kind of port where the next stop after Rosslare is France. It's Belgium, it's the Netherlands, it's the UK. So this house is right before it. It used to be owned by an old British kind of gentry guy who was involved in the Navy, and he passed away anyway, and no one really took claim of it. So it's this massive house. It has about 20 rooms in it. It's full of it's very untouched. And we heard about it from local friends. So we said we'd go in and have a look. It was very much unclaimed, and it was like stepping back in time. It was like a completely different world that had been untouched. So we thought, let's bring a camera in here and take a few snaps. So we did. Clearly we love hanging around haunted buildings.
Haunted.
Maybe says something about our character. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Now you have some beautiful pieces of equipment around you there. You wanted to perform something for us?
Yeah, I've got instruments kind of everywhere, all over the room
It's
here.
really cool. You set it up nice. Tell us
Yeah,
what you've
so
got and the kinds, like what kind of guitar is that one?
I have a Maiden guitar. This is from Australia. It's made of Queensland maple, which is this incredibly rare wood. Apparently, the only way you can actually export it from Australia is through a guitar. So, but the sound of it is incredible. I've recorded an awful lot of songs on this. So, I don't know. Can you hear that? Okay.
Oh yeah, sounds really good.
So yeah, I guess we kind of alluded to it there briefly earlier on, to Shane MacGowan and the time of year that it is with this guy. Usually, I guess it's been a strange year for everyone.
Yeah.
Usually this time of year, this song that I'm going to play, I'm usually singing with friends and family, and I'm singing it at different occasions, and it's just one of these songs that you start it in a room and everybody sings along with you. It's something that it's a song that is completely timeless. And but the thing is, this year being the year that it is, I can't see many opportunities where I'm going to be singing it. So I believe this will probably be the only time I sing it this Christmas. So I might as well do it with you guys. So
I tell you, once again on the Jim Master Show Live, folks, another world premiere. All right.
So I'm gonna do Fairy Tale in New York by the Pogues.
Nice.
So
Very nice.
or the viewers can't obviously sing along to us, but please sing along at home if you know the words.
Absolutely.
It was Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk time, an old man said to me, "Won't see another one." And then he sang a song, a rare old mountain dew. I turned my face away, and I dreamed about you. Got on a lucky one, came in 18 to 1. I've got a feeling this year's for me and you. So happy Christmas. For I love you, baby. I can see a better time when all our dreams come true. And the boys of the NYPD choir, they were singing Galway Bay, and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day. I could have been someone, well, so could anyone. You took my dreams from me when I first found you. I kept them with me, babe, and I put them with my own. Can't make it out, for I built my dreams around you. And the boys of the NYPD choir, they were singing Galway Bay, and the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.
Really nice. That is really a beautiful song, and a lot of people were commenting about that too. You've earned another right. You've earned another swig.
Yeah, in honor of Shane McGowan, I think so. Yeah, I
I was
think it
going to
would
say you have a
indeed-
certain order. That's a perfect order. Guitar to glass to guitar to glass. That's it.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, very traditional musician's order. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Bernadette says it's one of our favorite Irish Christmas songs. Christine Clifton says, "Yay, live music from Mick. Wonderful song, beautifully sung." Rose in Ontario, you're bringing tears to me eyes, not my eyes, but me eyes, as the Irish say. Juanita claps and hearts, and we're glad you guys are enjoying this afternoon here on the Jim Master Show Live, folks. We wanted to put something together really beautiful for you guys here on the kickoff of the holiday season, pretty much. And believe it or not, we're back live tonight at 7 p.m. with a whole new show, which is absolutely amazing. We'll all love it, I'm sure. You better believe it. Claps coming in from Kathleen in New York City, and some more is just really pouring in. Sherry says, we love world premieres and levity all. John Ways, who was a guest on our show, he's a wonderful psychic medium, and so much more. He's an illusionist and everything. You could just tell. You could just tell from his profile photo from the YouTube that he's a cool cat, and he was a great guest. Good to see you, John. And he says your voice and my favorite Irish Christmas song. I believe all of we levities are now hooked on Corner Boy, which is awesome, and such a great song. They sang along with you as well. Sherry joined us, hanging out with my daughter and grandkids today, tuned in to hear some great music. Kathy Short, haunted houses, cool. You have another tune you want to share with us as well, my friend?
I guess, yeah. I don't know if people have any sort of requests. Maybe I could try something.
Yeah.
I kind of like looking back at an awful lot of these videos today and talking about where the band came from. I guess, it made me think about how I first got into music and how it all begun. And I think one of the first songs I ever learned, first ballad certainly anyway, was a song by Christy Moore. So maybe I could maybe give that a go. I think listeners might be familiar with it. So
right. Very cool, my friend.
black is the color of my true love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She has the sweetest smile and the gentlest hands, and I love the ground whereon she stands. I love my love, well she knows. I love the ground whereon she goes. I wish the day, oh it soon would come, when she and I can be as one. For black is the color of my true love's hair. Our lips are like some roses fair. She has the sweetest smile and the gentlest hands, and I love the ground whereon she stands. Yes, I love the ground whereon she stands.
Really nice. That is really, really nice. That's a beautiful tune, my friend. It really is. Very touching as well.
It's just a kind of a very typical ballad that you would start off playing on guitar from a young age, and You know, it's funny, you learn it at a young age, but the rooms you go into with friends and family, it's always one of these ballads that, you know, after midnight when the drinks are flowing and people start to sing, it's a song that always pops up here and there, and it's really beautiful. It was kind of made famous by Christy Moore, but I think the myth and the story behind it goes that Christy was actually gigging in Scotland. He was gigging in Glasgow one night, and he was performing, and an act who was performing on the night with him as well sung the song, and Christy was just completely floored by it. And the guy who was singing it he wasn't, you know, world famous or renowned by any means, but Christy was just so blown away by the song that he said, can I have the song? And Christy took it back home to Ireland from Scotland, and all of a sudden it just became this massive hit. So it just goes to show that these kind of songs, they exist out there, musicians in small venues and small places, and they've got huge depth and quality and storytelling ability to them. They exist, and I guess, look, sometimes it just takes the right person to maybe platform them.
That's right, exactly. We do actually have what is she? A beautiful, one of my favorite songs, Thank You, and singing along. Rose Cullerton in Canada says, please play Wexford's Been Good to Me.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah. We could, yeah. Yeah.
It's a little hometown spirit there, huh?
I don't think I've played that song in about 2 or 3 years, so... Let's give it a try. It's been a long time. You and I, we could leave this town tonight. Its decoration and all its foundation that hold our trials and tribulations, we could leave them all behind. You and I, we could walk into the storm, find out what love is for, why people hurt, why they adore, why they are left still. Wanting more inside, we can leave them all behind. Wexford, be good to me, show me what life can be. Hold me in your company, and when I am too blind to see, tell me then, will you comfort me? Oh, tell me then, will you comfort me? Oh, tell me then, will you comfort me?
Really nice. See, that was on the spot. They asked for that, and you said, any requests, and you didn't expect that one, but you nailed it.
That song was recorded in 2017, and I don't think has been played too much since. So it's there, it exists. It's somewhere, I think, somewhere on YouTube. So that's a song called Wexford. It's written about our hometown, and I guess it's just one of those kind of songs that you're trying to capture the essence of the place where you're from. And the story behind it and your own experience of it. So I guess that's a tale as old as time itself. People trying to understand their environment and their world, and that's something that I wrote in 2017 that I haven't played since. So it was nice to dig that out from the back of my mind somewhere. Yeah, so
from those right, exactly, from the deep archives, which I think is really, really cool. And what are some other kinds of songs and material that and they're thanking you as well. Thanks, Mick, and great song and beautiful, and wow, you should sing that more often. Actually, they're liking it. Yeah.
Okay, maybe actually, yeah. That's something I could take from tonight. Yeah, reintroduce that to the band, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. What are there other genres and styles of music that you guys are also looking at sort of branching into as you continue to evolve?
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's always been something that we don't particularly like to stand still too often. We're always trying to blend new sounds, even on our newest record now that we're recording at the moment that we're going to release next year. Again, just trying to challenge ourselves with trying to define what folk music sounds like in 2020 to us, and find ourselves working with synths and keyboards and different aspects. So it's just to really bring in a really diverse palette and see what can be found in it. I guess people have this perception of songwriting that it's something that you sit down and you just take your time with it, and then a song emerges, it's fully formed and it's done. But I think there's many different ways to write songs and many different approaches to it. Sometimes it's often been the case with myself as a songwriter and other songwriter friends that they're playing a guitar and they're writing songs and they're getting a bit of songwriter's block and nothing is really coming to them, and then they might pick up a banjo or they might play keyboard or different different set of instrumentation. All of a sudden this new song just emerges in the world. And I mean, looking at it impartially for what it is as an experience, it's a really great feeling where you sit down and then a couple hours later, this thing just exists in the world. This piece of music that didn't exist a couple of hours previous. So I guess that's possibly something to do with the experience of being a songwriter. It's the addiction almost. That you're constantly and trying to push yourself to write the next one, So so it is almost this strange addiction almost. Yeah. A very healthy one, I may add, but
a very healthy one. Absolutely.
There's much worse things you could be doing. So,
as he tips his, the timing of that was sort of perfect.
Yeah.
The couple of people ask, who do you listen to? Like, what would be in your iPod, CD player, now record player too, maybe that since LPs are back. Who are some of the folks that you listen to, Mick?
I guess at the moment in Ireland, we're really, really spoiled with what we have. There's some really
unbelievable
wonderful acts. There's some big ones, the likes of Hosier, and then there are other acts that wouldn't really be maybe as well known, like Saint Sister, or more traditional Irish acts like the Gloaming, who are truly incredible force of nature, really, like in my opinion. And then there's a lot of contemporary American or US acts. So I really like Punch Brothers from the States. I like the East Pointers from Canada. A lot of great bands there. And then there's like the staples, your kind of bread and butter. I constantly find myself at various points in my life going back to particularly Bruce Springsteen and some of his records. And the likes of Bob Dylan, and there's just many names. I think when you're
probably the Beatles and all.
Yeah, completely. And even the Beatles and even older records, and listen to stuff that's not particularly your palette, but you find some sort of energy, you find some sort of motivation in it. So you might throw on like a Led Zeppelin record or something, so there it's great really to have that whenever you're not feeling particularly motivated, to just broaden your palette as wide as possible, and you're going to find stuff there. I listen to an awful lot of even contemporary hip hop music and rap. Like, it's really, really powerful with a really purposeful message, and that stuff it might not be your music, but it's really, really motivating. Listen to artists like Kendrick Lamar, it's just one US artist. And it's great to see other musicians and other styles and other genres, and kind of let the way that their aesthetic and their vision, let that kind of influence you as well. So it's I would just say, and I've often said it to young songwriters when they're asking me about any particular formula that I use, just open your ears and leave them open and take in as much as you can, and just love your music and be really proud of the music that you put out into the world, and you can't really go wrong then.
Do you have other family members too that are in the field of music?
Yeah, well, my family members, they work in kind of other kind of creative industries. My brother works in a film studio here in Ireland, called Ardmore, which is like it's where like a lot of Netflix and Hollywood stuff is
Yeah,
shot. So
right, right.
I think the last, so I guess it's just like that. And again, for musicians and people who love their music, it's at times it's quite important to surround yourselves with other creative people,
Right,
because
absolutely.
it's great to know that they're on that same journey with you, and there's a connection, there's an empathy that exists, something that's like transactional, and you understand that in the moment that, yes, you may be sitting down watching TV, you might be out for a walk, but the mind is constantly thinking, and it's great to surround yourself with creative people and to see different lenses of how they view the world and different things. So it's great, and it's the same with the band as well. It's great being in a room with them playing music, because we challenge each other, and I think it's really really important to be in an environment where the culture is right, the culture is positive, and you're constantly challenging each other. And I think that's why we've maybe possibly lasted so long. So yeah, and to be friends, I guess, at the core of it as well. That's yeah.
And to remain friends, absolutely. That's so important too. You're a singer and a musician, multi-instrumentalist, and a songwriter. When did you become a songwriter? How early was that in your life coming up? And do you have a preference? Whether who are you first, Mick? Are you the songwriter, the musician, the singer, or is it all equal for you?
I would say songwriter, definitely. Yeah, I think when I first released music under Corner Boy, I purposely didn't put pictures of myself online. I wanted to try stay as anonymous as possible, and then people were like, "Oh, look, you're writing all of the songs. You could be a really great solo artist," and it's something I didn't really go for. I wanted to be a kind of shared experience, and I think everyone has a different approach to how they want to have music within their life. So I had to surround myself with people. I wanted it to be something that could be shared, and that I could have a team around me, that everyone would benefit from this wonderful experience. Like it's trying to constantly remember from the position that we started in talking and playing music in the back of a pub somewhere, to be looking back years now. And strangely enough, tonight has been really cathartic. Like you've gone through different places, different corners of the world that we've played in, and like some of those videos I haven't watched in maybe months.
Long time.
Yeah, and to look back at it, particularly at this time of year, it's very kind of melancholic. It's been really really nice. So thanks for that, Jim.
Absolutely. We actually have one more, and hopefully we can squeeze this in if we talk to the those CD baby people during the course. It's a really cool one. It is the official music video. Now I'm thinking about fiddle. I'm gonna break out the fiddle. I studied violin when I was a kid, and now of course we got a guitar over here as well, and piano. Moira.
Yes, Moira, Under the Pale Moonlight. So yeah, I'll introduce this video as well. So this video was shot by a good friend of the band. I guess, look, another example of trying to surround yourself with creative types. A great director, videographer named Johnny Stewart. He goes under the name of Wolf with 2 Fs. You can find him quite easily online. But just a great example of we live, like I mentioned earlier on, we kind of live 10 minutes away from each other in different directions. But there's this one town in the middle of where we live. It's called Bridgetown. And we basically, in the middle of the night, took it over and got permission for using some of the venues, and we ran around for 2-3 nights with cameras, and kind of formed this story about the different locations in the middle of where we all come from. And we shot this video, and the song is called Moira, Under the Pale Moonlight.
And this is one of several of your official music videos, right?
Yes, yeah. And they can all be found on YouTube and the usual places. So
the usual suspect places.
Yes,
including haunted houses.
Yeah. Is there a haunted house in this video? Yeah, apparently it is haunted.
Is,
yeah,
right?
This is a weird theme that has emerged tonight, actually.
Theme.
Yeah.
I know. I think when I'm done with this, we're going to check the closets around here. You refill that glass, and we will.
I will indeed.
You've
Yeah.
certainly earned it. And here is Moira. Enjoy more of Corner Boy, and we'll be right back. Wow. Oh my God. That I was watching it earlier. That is on fire. I mean, you guys are you really are fantastic. And I think you got a lot of new fans who are discovering you guys here on my show here. And it's a real pleasure to be able to do this. And you've got a real unique sound. You know what I mean? It's a great vibe. It's just a great feeling. And it just makes you feel good. I mean, you want to move. Some of the songs too, I know you have slower songs and they get even more deeper, but overall, the whole picture is just, I know, it's almost like I'm getting this vibe of, take life, or the bull by its horns and run with it now because life is short. Have a good time, breathe every breath deeply, be good to people, and just run and go after your dreams and live it like you guys have been doing. That's an overall feeling and vibe I'm getting with all this music. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but that's what's happening.
That's always been the core message of the band. It's always been to just to send good energy out into the world, and and I think if you can do that and you can do it consistently, I think you won't drift too far from having a nice happy life for yourself. It's not, happiness I guess isn't something that you just maybe like arrive at and you can just sustain it. It has to be something that's worked on. So there are ups and downs to being in any band and working together as musicians, but it's just trying to remember, always go back to those original core philosophies, that this is the reason why we started all this, and always remember why you started, and I think if you can do that with anything, it could be with sport or writing or theater, it could be with gardening, just remember the reason why you started that action in the first place, and the energy and the enthusiasm and the motivation behind it and the ambition, and keep reminding yourself of that and of that real pure thing that you wanted to achieve, and if you can do that, it's it can be incredibly beneficial to one's health. So that's my message for tonight.
Absolutely. And again, if you're just joining us late, Mick is he's the founder actually of Corner Boy and the lead performer, musician, singer, and Corner Boy is a full group, and these are the lads right here, and hopefully we'll have them back. We'll have them all together. They're just getting out of Irish lockdown and COVID restrictions, so we're very happy that Mick was even able to join us from the studio with all the equipment there and everything. Did you want to leave us with maybe one more little quick tune, maybe something holiday? I don't know, Jingle Bells, or just something that comes to mind, leaves them in a positive. They're already positive, but I tell you, it's holiday time.
Something a bit positive, I guess. A good song to finish on would be the song that kind of maybe really got us to where we were. I know I mentioned there earlier on about our experience of kind of being plucked from obscurity and being cast in front of the nation on TV, and the song that kind of did it for us was a song called Morning Morning, and it's a song that people have really taken ownership of in the last couple of years, to the point where it's a strange sensation, and I've spoken about this with other songwriters, but you almost feel like you don't own it anymore. You don't have ownership of it. The other people own it, and it's a song that people have. They've come up to me in the street and said, I listen to that song when I'm in the gym. Other people have come up to me and said, when I'm driving my kids to school in the morning, I put this song on. and they sing along with me, and they really, really love it. So, and I guess the message behind the song is that of just one of pure kind of enthusiasm, waking up in the day, and just facing down the world and everything that is in front of you. It's about waking up essentially, but it's really about how you approach everything else after that. So it's a song that really did an awful lot for us as a band.
Yeah.
And it's called Morning Morning, and I guess I'll play it.
All right, here we go. Here's Mick.
Rise me up with the sun, or this house ain't no home without you. When you go, I'm alone, and so blue. Morning, morning, come on, rise me up. Take the darkness that dwells in these eyes. Give me feet fit to roam. Shake my body and soul, my body, my soul, and my mind. Morning, morning, come on, sing me your song. Let it dance, skip, and move on the wind. Move me upwards and on, singing I'm not some pawn in this game full of preachers and sin. In this game full of preachers and sin. And it goes on and on. The rise of the dawn and keep me right, and then lay me down till the morning light. So rise me up with the sun, or this house ain't no home without you. When you go, I'm alone and so blue. Ooh, so rise me up with the sun, or this house ain't no home without you. When you go, I'm alone and so blue.
Really cool, my friend. Really nice. Claps, claps, claps from everybody. Standing ovations from everybody. You have earned, you've earned it tonight. You've earned your keep. Absolutely. Awesome. Multi-talented. And we're really, we're so happy that you could join us, my friend. I just want to show you some of the comments coming in. Thank you so much, Mick, for all the music and crack on this chilly winter afternoon. It's very warming. Rose, loving it as well. Fantastic, upbeat, energizing songs. I hope, you know, when you're over here in the States or when I'm over there, maybe on a television shoot in my work or something, we get together and
Absolutely, yeah.
cheers and break bread. That would be awesome, my friend. And I can't wait to see you guys doing your thing up close and personal too. Kathy Short, hearts and Irish claps and all kinds of cool stuff here. Juanita in South Africa, exceptional. Thank you, Mick, for your time and beautiful music. Keep well. Some more coming in here. Rose says, and that's why I've been a fan for 6 years. Inspirational. She's up in Canada. Wow, what a very talented group. We love that from Sherry. Such a feel-good group. Definitely hooked. Easy music to listen to. Very talented group. Really awesome stuff here coming in. Marjorie Hunter is watching us. Says, thank you, Jim Masters, for introducing me to another amazing Irish performer and band. And Christine says, it was so kind of you to play for us, and you're so talented as well. I don't know. It's a lot of levity, a levity wave on our show coming your way. Can you handle it? I'm sure you can, my friend.
No, it's all good vibes, and we appreciate that. So, and look, thank you to all of the viewers who tuned in there tonight. This is something I guess that a lot of musicians are still kind of getting used to, the idea of interacting with people in this way. So it's something I don't have an awful lot of experience in, but I've really, really enjoyed tonight. I think we've been here a while now, but it feels like about 10 minutes. It's been really great, and that's down to you as well, Jim. So thank you so much for having us.
Oh, my pleasure. That's what everybody says. You know, we've been chatting for 2 hours and 23 minutes.
Have we? Yeah. No, we have. Have we?
2
Yeah,
hours.
yeah, we have. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
Considering, the glass, I'm surprised you hadn't had to exit the room quite yet.
Yeah, I was sober when we started this.
I was going to say, you got a strong bladder too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it. Mick, thank you for the music and chat. Stay safe, Mick. And Marjorie can understand why Morning's diverse appeal exists as well. Very nice meeting you. You're great, exceptional. Thank you, Mick, for your time. Maybe for music. You keep well, and claps and more. Mick, truly, this was absolutely awesome. And coming in around holiday time, I'm glad it all worked out. Say hello to the rest of the band for me, and they're welcome with you anytime you want to come back. And hopefully, we'll get through all of this together, and that's what we need to be, is together. And what's the website if folks want to check out more of the music?
Yeah, our website is quite simple, very straightforward, cornerboymusic.com, and we're on all the other usual channels, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So get in touch, and just keep your eyes peeled. We really do hope that we can get back to the States next year. We've really enjoyed every time we've gone there. So I believe we will be in the United States next year, and we'll have a new record out on a lot of new songs as well. So look, we're really excited and really looking forward to 2021. So, and hopefully we can catch that drink together, maybe, Jim, somewhere along the way, somewhere down the road.
That's right, and it won't be just the coffee with the Baileys.
No.
That's it, my friend. You're the best. Thanks for all of the time. Thanks for performing live. Thanks for all of the material. And this was really cool. And I'm glad we had an opportunity to really, on this show, we like to really chat. People say I like to bring back the lost art of conversation, not just rush you in and out, play a song, say, okay, buy the CD, blah, blah, blah. Because then people really don't get an idea of why you do what you do, and the passion and all the, the work and the blood, sweat, and tears. This isn't something that you just flip the switch and here you are. You guys work so hard. And the key to all of this, and we've had these conversations with guests, is to make it all look easy and effortless, but behind the scenes there's a heck of a lot of work going on to be able to pull all this off. So thanks for everything, Mick, and we wish you the best of the holidays for you and your family, and I hope the show met your expectations. And
it's been absolutely wonderful, Jim, so thank you once again. And like I said, we'll have to get together in the real world maybe as well, but I've really appreciated it, and hopefully we can get the guys back on somewhere down the line and put on a full show. So soon as you're able to go more than 5 feet from your houses, right? Yeah, exactly.
Quite there yet.
It was technically illegal for them to be here with me tonight, so like they really wanted to be here. So, but I guess it's just one of those things at the moment. So we all have to do our part. So, but hopefully in 2021, everyone can, we can really all be together and enjoy live music and enjoy good vibes and good energy in 2021. So here's hoping.
Roses, take care, Mick. I hope you all come through COVID okay. Absolutely. Same with us here in the States. Tough times here. Sherry says, thank you, Mick. You're definitely a levity. Please be back again soon. Bernadette, Mick, you and other lads, please be safe. Say well. Happy Christmas. Rose says, and Canada as well. Absolutely. Our friends in Canada. And Christine Clifton says, thanks for a lovely conversation, Mick, and for giving us the gift of fabulous music. Thanks for performing live for us, too. You're a levity. Be safe. I hope you certainly enjoyed your time with me as much as I have with you, my friend.
Thank you very much, Jim. And cheers, everyone. Sláinte.
Cheers and sláinte.
Have a great Christmas.
You, too. All the best, my friend. We'll chat again soon, all right?
All the best.
All the best. Take care now. Bye-bye. Really cool, huh? Was that not fun or what? You got an opportunity to learn maybe about a band that maybe you weren't familiar with, and now you are, and you're going to go check out their music. Absolutely awesome. So happy we were able to play the material we did and share it with all of you. And Mick's, he's a cool guy, and we've been putting this together, Mick and I, for a couple of months now, and they were going to come on, as the full band back in, I think, October-ish, November, but then, the COVID restrictions in Ireland have been as appropriately, tough so they can get through it all. And they just were lifted yesterday, but still, there's certain restrictions. So you got a chance to meet the founding member of Corner Boy, which was awesome, and hear his story and the formation of the group, the Montreal connection as well, his passion and love of Ireland and Wexford and Dublin, and, very proud of the Irish heritage and all that it represents, and just paying heed to those who came before and all of the musicians and folks that are part of the band, which is really cool. And I tell you, as I said earlier, and I was saying to Mick, the sound is so unique. I'm sure you're going to be running to Spotify and iTunes, Amazon, everywhere else, their website too, to pick up some of the material, because it really makes you feel good, doesn't it? It's awesome stuff. And so happy he was able to play live for us too, which just was an added boost. And when he and I were chatting, I said, hey, Mick, you think you better, throw some things together live? And he said, absolutely. You just let me know. We'll play a couple of songs for your levity viewers around the world. And that's what he did. So, hats off and cheers to Mick and everybody at Corner Boy, and to all of you for watching. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Bernadette, another excellent show. Jim, thank you. Great. Glad to see more folks getting into Corner Boy and other Irish musicians. Yeah, this was terrific. He was live from Dublin. We started at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific for folks on the West Coast, and 8 p.m. we started Greenwich Mean Time, Ireland, Scotland, England, Switzerland, and areas like that. And so right now for him, it is about 10:34 p.m. And he said what so many people say when they're a guest on the show, it felt like 10 minutes, a half hour, 45 minutes tops. It never feels like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And I think it's the comfortability and the vibe. And we just have it's not an interview, it's a conversation. And with all you guys here from all around the world and all your levity and your participation, it's awesome. Kathleen in New York City. That was nice. Thanks, Jim. Absolutely. Our pleasure. We're going to get ready to scoot off, folks, because believe it or not, in an hour and a half, I have another guest with a whole new show. We're doing 2 shows today. Now, let me tell you real quick, the amazing guest who's coming up next. We have 2-time Grammy-winning songwriter, as well as a musician and performer, and so much more. Dennis Scott is joining us here live on the Jim Master Show Live, coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be on YouTube as well as Facebook. So you can join us on YouTube and Facebook at Jim Masters TV. Again, 2-time Grammy-winning songwriter, musician, entertainer. He's going to perform live as well. He's tuning his guitar. We have some really cool material to share with you. He also has this unbelievable connection to Mr. Rogers. He's been involved in a lot of children's music as well, and Christmas CDs and all kinds of cool stuff. The award-winning Dennis Scott is with us in about an hour and a half from now, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific today. So we're going to have dinner. We'll probably, spruce up a little bit more, and then we'll be back in an hour and a half to welcome Dennis live to the show for our evening edition of the Jim Master Show Live. Just want to let you know as well, tomorrow, Roy Buckley, also live and direct from Ireland, is going to be joining us here. We look forward to Roy joining us on the show. That's also 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific, 8 p.m. in Ireland, Scotland, and England. Roy Buckley, another fantastic Irish talent. So join us Sunday as well for a very special earlier episode, an afternoon episode, here on the Jim Master Show Live. Roy Buckley, he's all excited. He was chiming in when we had Phil Coulter on, legendary Phil Coulter. Roy, you may remember, was paying heed to Phil Coulter greatly because they've worked together and still do. I just want to let you know, too, next weekend, Connor McGinty's joining us, too. Of course, he's cousin of Damien, but he has his own incredible career. He's going to perform live. He's all excited. He's got a lot of songs in store for us as well. And we're going to have some great Irish crack, great conversations, and that's going to be amazing. Want to let you know, coming up on Friday as well, Emmett O'Hanlon, who was with Celtic Thunder. I've interviewed him on PBS multiple times. His mother has a restaurant in Manhattan in New York City. I've been to it multiple times. She's a wonderful lady, too. He lives, and he's originally from New York. He's Irish-American baritone. He just flew back from Germany. He was singing in Germany with the opera, and he was with the Lyric Opera of Chicago, but of course, most notably, originally with Celtic Thunder. He's going to be my guest this coming Friday on the Jim Masters Show live, and that's going to be really, really cool. Emmett O'Hanlon is going to be with us as well, for those of you who want to see some of the Irish artists that are coming up. My good friend Darren Holden is coming on. Remember him from Riverdance? He's still with the High Kings. Interviewed him and Brian Dunphy, the whole group from the High Kings, and so much more multiple times here in America on public television. He's going to hop on in about a week or so stay tuned for that. Keith Harkin from Celtic Thunder is going to be with us. He was with Celtic Thunder. Now he has a fantastic solo career. He's from Ireland, of course, Northern. He lives in LA, Los Angeles, but right now he's in Portugal with his wife and child, and he's going to be live from there next weekend, next Saturday. It's going to be real cool. 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, 8 p.m. GMT time. So Keith Harkin, I know a lot of you have been excited about Keith Harkin joining us on the show. He's going to be here as well, and so many more. The incomparable Sir James Galway, another international treasure. His birthday is the weekend of Friday the 18th, 19th of December. This is his beautiful wife, another extraordinary flautist, Lady Jean Galway. She and I are working on this. We're putting together a very special episode where Sir James Galway, who is a internationally renowned flautist from Ireland originally. They live in Switzerland. She's from America originally. He has sold 30 million records. He's done every kind of song, every genre, including rock, pop, standards, country, Irish, Christmas. He's amazing. He's been on all the talk shows over the years, Johnny Carson, and you name it. He's a living legend. And Sir James Galway and Lady Jean Galway, are going to be here on the 18th. That's right, the 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern. Friday the 18th. We have 2 shows, actually. And he's going to be on the 18th for a very special holiday show, as well as a Christmas show as well. And then that night, Tammy McCann, jazz vocalist from Chicago and dear friend of mine, she's going to be on that night as well and belt out some great tunes. She's all excited. I just want to let you know as well, coming up, we've got some more incredible artists. This Monday, songwriter, singer, and award-winning performer Jill Usden is going to be with us. Jill Usden is brilliant. She's also a music teacher. She's going to join us on Monday Live. We have the extraordinary and award-winning animator, filmmaker, and illustrator Bill Plimpton, who's going to be with us on Tuesday. Of course, you know him for so many. All of his work's been in newspapers over the years, and he's just extraordinary. This is his own rendition of himself. He's going to be here on Tuesday with amazing visuals and so much more. We're going to love that. Wednesday, the award-winning performer Bobby Horowitz is going to be here. She's a brilliant performer, originally from New York, in all the cabaret circles and Broadway entertainment, off-Broadway, you name it. She's also a numerologist, and she's a songwriter. She's going to be with us Wednesday this week. Then on Thursday, Ken Fallon's going to be here. Ken Fallon is a national treasure. He is a multi-award-winning illustrator and caricaturist. He's done so many caricatures of major celebrities from television, film, Broadway, Hollywood, music, you name it. And he's extraordinary, and he's going to be with us on Thursday night. Isn't that cool? And that's just some of the guests that are going to be with us coming up this week and beyond on the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle talk show series. Again, we thank from Corner Boy Mick Darcy, who's with us. And again, we'll have the gang back in total. They'll love being back with us. We'll love having them back as well. And again, cool music, right? Absolutely great sound. And we're so happy that Mick can join us here on the show. We thank him for all of his time as well. Coming up, and again, just over an hour, we have that brilliant 2-time Grammy-winning songwriter, and he's going to have a great time with us, and we're going to have a great time with him. Musician and performer Dennis Scott, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. If you want to see any of the past episodes, we have 35 weeks and over 200 episodes of the Jim Master Show Live. If you want to see this episode again and share it, all you have to do, our YouTube channel right there, Jim Masters TV, click subscribe. We'd love it if you subscribe to the channel. We do subscribe back, and all the episodes are there for you folks. Check it out. You got some cool shows, great guests available for you there as well. And as we get ready to make a quick turnaround before our next guest coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern, as always, we say put a smile on your face. And of course, when you do that, it makes you smile as well and put smiles on others. Share the levity, gang, all around the world. Share the levity. And my Zen place, living here on the East Coast in the Northeastern United States, is the ocean. You have to drag me out of the ocean. Swimming, surfing, kiteboarding, sailing, boogie boarding, the ocean, although not about now. It's a little chilly now. And of course, my work in television, radio, stage over the years is another Zen place for me. So find your Zen place as well. Mine also with loving family and friends, good times, tennis, cycling, and the ocean as well. So we're going to get ready to wrap up. We've got another show coming up. Juanita says, amazing show. Love the music. Thanks, Jim, for another great show. You should go to bed because you've been up late. Dim and bright. You can catch the next one on the YouTube channel. You can binge watch like I know you do. See you all. Good to have you with us, Juanita. I'll see you for the next show. That's right. Just enough for a sandwich, and we're back soon. Good to see you, Bernadette. Christine says 2 shows and 1 day means double levity duty. If we all can, thanks for the merry matinee. See you all in about an hour. Sherry says, great show, Jim. See you in a little bit for show number 2. You're seriously the best. Thanks, Sherry. We love that. Marilyn Hammond in Wichita, Kansas, USA says, thanks, Jim. See you later. Mary Bishop in Florida. This was great. See you in an hour and a half for part 2 on the Jim Master Show Live. Thank you, Mary. We love hearing that. Kathy says, see you at 7. Great job. Thank you, Marjorie. And love having you here, Marjorie. Hope you'll keep watching. That was nice. Excellent show. You guys are the best from all around the world. Share the levity. We're here every night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And then sometimes we do these special earlier times to accommodate our guests who are in other parts of the globe. Bernadette says, I'll see you for the next show, Jim. Excellent. See you later. All right, we're going to have some dinner, put some more logs on the fire, and spice up our glass. We're going to move on from the coffee, and we will see you guys. Don't forget, we do this at the end of every show. Relax, breathe from the diaphragm, take care of one another, love one another, and love yourself. We will see you. We'll show you the cast of characters later on. We're going to scoot out. Thanks again to Mick for joining us from Corner Boy. And thanks to all of you. This is your place for good times, entertainment, great conversation, and so much more on the Jim Masters Show Live. For everybody here, thank you so much for being with us, gang. You're truly the best. We'll see you at 7 p.m. Oh, my God, we've only got an hour and 15 minutes. I better eat fast. Thanks for everything, gang. We'll see you soon on the Jim Masters Show Live. Love you all. You're the best from around the world. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.